guys, and welcome back to another karting video down at TeamSport in Hull today. This is the last members race of the year, and it is the Santa Kart race, and an absolutely packed grid of incredibly quick drivers. We've got Josh Armstrong in front of us there, qualifying in second. We've got Dean Gwatkin up front, qualified pole. We've got Paul as well, who's in the top 5 around this track on the right there in the blue suit. We've got Riyadh, and we have Lewis Hamilton actually joining us in this race as well. So we qualified P4, and we're just about to get going now as the red lights come on and we are ready to go. We're not in a good position being here on the outside of this first turn, so we're going to see what we can do. Can't really make up any positions at all at the beginning, actually getting pushed out, so I think even 5th place may be coming up on our inside here. Josh getting absolutely smashed into the barrier there, and unfortunately get caught up, and I'm getting pushed from behind. Josh got spins and I couldn't go anywhere, and that's Josh's race kind of done. There's no coming back from that really, considering he qualified P2. That's really unfortunate for him. But I think we lost quite a few places. Well, we qualified P4, and yeah, we're down in 7th now. So yeah, not a great start to the race, but as you can see at the bottom there, do last for about 78 laps until the Santa Kart does catch us up and overtakes us. But yeah, a bit frustrating that first section, and even worse things to come. You get absolutely smashed into another dimension at the bottom of the ramp. Someone just goes full speed into the side of me, so make sure you stick around for that about halfway through the video. So there's we're behind some slower drivers now. You can see Josh, I think, a little bit frustrated in front of us as Lewis Hamilton comes around and overtakes us on the outside. So we are quicker than Lewis typically, so he's actually going to let us go there as well. So we're back up into 7th, so thank you to him. And now we are trying to stick with Josh. Josh is incredibly quick and incredibly consistent, so if we can keep up with him, and maybe if he catches up to some back markers, then we can hopefully challenge him for 6th position as well. And honestly, the pace in this session throughout from everybody here was just incredible. We had Dean Gwatkin in the front and stayed in front the whole race, I think, and absolutely smashed the lap record as well with a 23.6. So that's in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there, and that was actually set on this race. So yeah, like half a second faster than my PB, which is just insane. Constantly getting 23.7s, 23.8s, 23.9s the whole race. So Dean was properly on form tonight, and an absolutely incredible drive from him. But concentrating on our race now, we're just trying to keep pace with Josh, and you can see from the bottom right there that we're already into the 24-second lap times from the 3rd and 4th lap. So I knew that it was going to be fairly difficult to keep this pace up. My stamina in the endurance races is something that I need to improve on, I think, definitely going into next year. As it gets to the end of these kind of longer races, especially around this TeamSport track where it's quite bumpy, especially down at the bottom of the ramp, really takes it out of you physically. So I think that's something that I definitely need to improve on for next year. Lasting this amount of time and the sheer pace of this session from everybody, it was literally like qualifying laps every single lap. So yeah, quite difficult to keep that pace up for 70 plus laps, and the people who stayed on until the end, until the Santa Kart caught them up, I think was into or close to getting 100 laps as well, constantly getting low 24s and 23s. Yeah, so just amazing driving from them guys. But you can see now we are catching on Josh. We are gaining some time as he's stuck behind these slower karts in front of him, so there's potentially an opportunity coming up that we can capitalise on. So I'm just trying to make sure that I can stay as close to him as possible, so if he does go for a move on the kart ahead of him, that I can hopefully follow him through. So we are getting closer and closer, they are battling, and as he does get them around the outside of that bottom hairpin, a really nice move from Josh there. So I'm going to try and follow him through, accidentally just kind of tap him. I really did not want to kind of get a kart in between Josh and myself. I really needed to kind of stay behind him and get that move done fast. So a little bit aggressive there on that kart that we just passed, but I think had to be done. As now we've got a couple of back markers in the way, so this is shaping up to be quite good for our race. If we can get by these and kind of bumping him there doesn't help us much, but I'm going to try and get past this back marker as quick as possible, as he does take a bit of a strange line through there, so he's compromised a bit of speed here and goes quite wide again there, which allows us to come through, but he is getting blue flagged and has let us go, so again thank you to him for letting us go. And now we are back on the hunt for Josh in front of us, so not too much time lost there, obviously a little bit and not ideal, but not too bad, and he's actually now up into a battle for 5th. So in front of us we've got Josh in 6th and the kart ahead of him is 5th, so we're catching quite well. Definitely an opportunity here to capitalise on this again if they start battling ahead. So just trying to keep my pace now, trying to keep consistent and then be patient and wait for some kind of opportunity to arise if they start battling out. As you can see in the bottom right there, previous lap of a 24.6, so as I said earlier, the pace in the session is crazy. Anything below 25 is pretty fast around this track. As we cross the line there, and now we're into a 24.5, so the consistency is definitely there, improving steadily lap after lap, and I do think we've gained probably a 10th or so on these guys ahead. As you can see in the distance there, Josh just moving to the inside, just seeing if a move can be made, but not at this point. But he is getting closer, and we are getting closer as well as they are battling and using defensive lines, so this is good for us. You can see we've made quite a bit of time now, and we are coming up into a back marker as well, so we've got 5th, 6th and 7th. We're disposed of one back marker. I did think I was going to get squeezed into the side there, but the second back marker does get out of our way as well, but that has allowed us to really close up now, and Josh has actually lost a bit of distance to the kart in front of him in 5th, so this actually worked out quite nicely for us, and we just need to maintain our consistency here and really pounce on this opportunity if it does arise. And all this time that we're going around, we're on the 15th lap now, and the kart's obviously coming to temperature, the tyres are warming up, so I'm feeling a lot more confident with the kart as we go around. I'm going into a 24.3 now, so another 10th or so off the previous lap of the 24.5, and I'm pretty happy with how I'm driving this so far, 16 laps into the race, and you can see that we are steadily but surely catching these two in front of us, and Josh is right on the back of the bumper of 5th place now, and he's going for a move down the inside that doesn't quite get it to where a bit of contact is made, I think. I don't think the guy in 5th is too happy about that, but this is really allowing me to catch up now. I do hit Josh in the back there, nothing really I could do about that, but yeah, this is definitely heating up now. We are in a 3-way battle for 5th place effectively, and this is going to get quite interesting shortly, as we will be approaching some back markers, no doubt. There's been a good few clean laps here. As Josh goes down the inside again, not quite close enough to make that work, but again, that kind of move that he's trying to make there has allowed us to catch up, and we take a nice line around here, carry some more momentum. We are now on the back of both 5th and 6th place, so this is really good, and there's a back marker in front of this, so we are right on the bumper now. Another bit of contact is made with Josh in the back there, and kind of ruins our momentum, and he goes for an inside move again. He gets closed in on he's not happy about that. He goes again, and really aggressive move into 5th place there, which has allowed us to now catch up. And can we do anything here? Not quite. It's a roadblock at the bottom of the ramp there. Yeah, out of all that, 5th place managed to maintain his position, but Josh goes around the outside now. Can he hang it around the outside? Not quite. He gets squeezed out, which allows us the inside for here, so we are going up into 6th place, and now 5th place is right here. Stop behind the back marker, go down the inside of 5th place as well. We take 5th place. Accidentally bumped that back marker out of the way. He's getting blue flag there now, but we do manage to get 5th place out of all that kind of controversy in the middle of the lap there, so worked out incredibly well for us. But now I know that these two are behind me and they are incredibly quick, and I'm approaching a back marker here myself, so this could spell disaster for me if I approach this back marker at the wrong time. He's not got blue flag there. I don't think I was close enough to warrant a blue flag, but he doesn't take that hairpin very well at all, or this corner very well at all, and we are needing this guy to get out of the way. You can see a bit of a hand gesture there to kind of raise the blue flags and get him out of the way. So I bump him a little bit there, nothing too bad, and then as we come down here I get absolutely smashed into another dimension, and I'm just going to slow this down for you here so you can see where my car is all this way around normal racing line. I'm literally at the apex and then get absolutely obliterated into the barrier. You can see my head just completely hit my arm. My feet are flung off the pedals, and I'm actually going backwards at this point. So, yeah, that hurt a bit, and yeah, I just don't know what that guy was doing really. It was pretty much a 30-mile-an-hour crash, full speed into the side of me at the bottom of the ramp. But yeah, I don't know what to say about that one really. Just a very sore loser, I think, and considering it is a members night, it is a little bit frustrating. Here it is again, full speed, and you see the impact that had as well. So yeah, a few choice words were shouted at him, and to be honest, fair play to these marshals as well. There's Jack here fixing my car. You can see how quickly the red light came on when that incident happened. The marshals on the night, absolutely brilliant at TeamSport here, and yeah, you can see the marshal ahead just talking to the driver. We don't think he understood what the blue flags were, even though there was said in the safety briefing, and that's what Jack's saying to me here, and said yeah, it was completely out of order really what he did, and I think he was asked to go into the pits and was disqualified from the session, or that's how it seemed anyway. But yeah, I was a bit winded, and my arm after this absolutely killed. So not a great incident, but just yeah, Josh ahead there that we'd been battling with most of the race, just a thumbs up to see if I was okay. But yeah, this guy ahead, I'm glad that he came off, because I was really frustrated, really annoyed at him, the way that he conducted himself there. But yeah, you can't do a lot with them people really. Anyway, the race does go on, and you can see, I don't know if you just caught there on the right hand side, that the Santa Kart is now out as well, so he is hunting people down. As we're just going to skip forward a few laps now, and we're getting the blue flag waved at us, so we'll actually see Dean in pole position come flying by us there, just offers the hand out there, just saying thank you, no problem at all. And yeah, now we're just going to see if we can stick with Dean, see if we can learn anything from him, as he was absolutely on form tonight, as he was, or did get the lap record, which is still the lap record. So just for reference as well, I think my fastest lap around here is within the top 10, and so definitely I'm competitive around here, but you can already see Dean's already gapping me after about one lap. Yeah, just incredible pace from him in this session tonight. So we're still going to try and stick with him, and so we'll be coming up to some back markers, and I'm hoping that the blue flag will be waved and we can kind of follow him through and get through some back markers along with him fairly easily. But you can see, kind of just coming around that corner, you just catch a glimpse of his helmet. That is actually now 5th position, or 6th position I should say, so Josh has managed to get by person that he was battling with earlier, so we have now a chance to potentially move up into 6th position, because he's going to have to let Dean go, and you can see we are right on the back of now 6th position, just at the bottom of this corner here. So I don't know what's happened to him, either he's not got the pace in this session or he's had some kind of incident. So this has allowed us to close up quite nicely, and you can see even coming around here we even just gained quite a few tenths around these two corners here, so I think we're definitely faster than him at this point, and he is approaching back markers here as well, so we're really on him now. But we do have to let Paul go in 2nd place there. But I thought the speed that we was going and how quickly we caught up to 6th place is that we can probably do that again quite easily, and even use the blue flags that Paul will be getting to hopefully follow him through and make a very nice easy overtake. So coming down here, black flag's not been waved this time to 6th place ahead, but we are closing in quite nicely here. Trying to follow Paul as well. Paul's incredibly quick. As Santa on the left there is coming, I don't think he's coming for us at this point, but we do need to be conscious of Santa behind us and knocking us out of the race if he overtakes us. But Paul trying to do a few things to get by him, and that does happen, which does allow us to catch up very nicely. Takes a look over his shoulder, and he knows that we're coming out, and we've got some pace to potentially overtake him very soon. Seems to be struggling a little bit with his car. A bit wide there on that penultimate corner, and around here I think we're just a lot smoother than him. He goes quite wide again, allows us to really get on his bumper now. Not really an overtaking opportunity. Try and get a good drive out of here, but it doesn't quite happen, and he's really leaning into these corners now, and we're just going to see if we can shape up and move up on this top hairpin, but I don't think we're going to be close enough. But this is helping, kind of seeing Paul in the distance, and we're going to be able to follow him as he goes wide. I think he's under pressure there. Get the inside here, close off the door immediately for the hairpin, and we are up into 6th. So forced him into a bit of a mistake there, and now just trying to maintain our pace with Paul ahead. So Paul is in 2nd place, very quick driver. I think he got his PB in this session as well, so he's now into the 23-second lap times. So if we can keep pace with him, we're doing pretty well. So just skipping forward now, we're on to lap 53 of the 78 that are completed, and you can see the lap times now 24.2, and it's been in the 24.2s for the past 10 or 15 laps or so. So just going across the line there, another 24.2. So consistency is definitely there at this pace, and you can see Paul has definitely made a bit of a gap on us, but not too much, as we now get a red light, and this was a very, very lengthy red light. So what happened here was 2 karts, one of them I believe broke down, Harrison's kart, and he had to come back around, get back into position, and then also Josh's kart I think had a bit of an issue, but unfortunately Josh had to retire, which actually promoted us up into 5th place very shortly, I think. And as you can see, we've got Harrison in front of us now, but this was definitely a part of the race that was slightly confusing. So Harrison passed us at the beginning when we had the first incident on the first lap with Josh. So I was actually getting blue flagged to let him back through, so he lets us go there. It's obviously in a new car, it's cold, he needs to get used to driving that, and he didn't have the pace at this point, and to be fair to him, I think he didn't want to ruin my race and let us go. So thank you to him for that, but as you can see now, we're actually getting blue flagged to let him go in front of me again. But I'm pretty sure this was actually, looking back at the footage, that this was actually a battle for 5th position at the time. So yeah, a little bit confusing now that I've looked back at the footage. So you can see now he's looking over his shoulder a little. You can see that I'm still right here, and he's almost holding me up. I say he is in the new car, but staying with him for now. You see, kind of just looking over his shoulder there, and kind of maintains this lap, but does let us go again. And then as soon as he lets us go again, we get blue flagged again to let him go past us again. So a little bit of a confusing point in the race. I didn't know whether to let him go or for me to stay in front. So I'm getting blue flagged again there, even though he's just let me through. But I think, given that he's let me through twice now, that we was pretty much in agreement that I'll stay ahead and kind of make way, and he doesn't have to hold me up. And then, once his car got up to temperature, and if he was faster than me, then I would easily let him back through. But I think at this point in the race, it's a smart decision, and good etiquette from him on the track as well. But looking back at the footage and looking at the final leaderboard, I finish in 5th and he finishes in 4th. So this was actually a battle for what would ultimately be 4th position, because Josh, who we had the incident with at the start of the race, actually ends up retiring. There was some issue with his car, so we get promoted into 5th, and then I'm obviously ahead of Harrison now, so technically this will be 4th position at the end of the race, if that makes any sense at all. But later on I get blue flagged because he picks up some more pace and I have to let him through. But that should have actually been a fight for the 4th position again. But anyway, we move on as the Santa Kart is now coming for us, and you can see me like saying no, 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 waving to Santa there, and he's hunting us down. So we are getting a little bit worried, checking over our shoulder, and he's got a bit of pace in him, Santa, driven by Paolo, who works as we wave at Santa again, mocking him a little bit. Need a bit of fun for the spectators there, don't we? But yeah, he's not managed to catch us just yet. I think he has to go back into the pits and have a bigger run up to try and get us. So we're going to skip forward now a couple of laps for when Santa is trying to come back out of the pits with a bigger run up and trying to overtake us, which is there in front of us. You can see how far he is onto the track to try and catch us on this lap. But there is 10 laps remaining, so I don't think he gets us quite yet. As we skip forward another couple of laps just to let the race leaders through, so there's one, but then there goes Harris again, so I actually got blue flagged to let these guys by, but as I mentioned earlier with the confusion on track and the position, I've actually just left or let Harrison by on into 4th position basically. So yeah, a little bit frustrating when I've watched this back. That I've kind of given up these positions and I was getting blue flagged to do so. So a little bit unfortunate, but you know, one of those things, and it was a a good fun event regardless. So not too worried. And as we skip forward now to the final lap, or coming up to the final lap, you can see we were just a lot faster than Harrison, so it kind of made sense that I should have been ahead of him at this point. But yeah, it didn't kind of click in my head when we was actually on the track. But we are on the final lap now. Santa is chasing us down, and he is coming to get us right there. He's right behind us now, literally pushing me along the track. As we give him a final little wave there, and little lapse of concentration of being a bit too cocky, that I slide wide and he eventually overtakes me, and that is our race completed. So yeah, really cool event, a nice kind of chilled out event, and one that you can take as a bit of fun. And this completes kind of 2021 of karting and that TeamSport in Hull. And just a big thank you to all the staff, the marshals and the members that come to these events and make them safe and fun. And I hope to see you all again in 2022. And thank you to all of you that's been watching these videos, and I will see you in the next one.